Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SpellShots. This is the second half of the season, and we are really getting into it. Unfortunately, we did have to miss 2 weeks ago, but we are back, and we are continuing kind of where we left off. SpellShots is usually kind of a one-shot thing, but a lot is happening, so we're kind of just in that place where we are going to continue. Oh, and there's an ad. So I'm gonna riff until this ad goes through. But
Do I need to recenter myself on screen? Just out of curiosity.
I think you look good. God, dear God, does Andrew look good?
Also, are we in the correct spots? Because it looks like I'm in Key's spot.
Oh,
Yeah.
and Key is Mira.
Key Mira, and Mira's
To,
me. Yeah.
Surprise! That's tonight's challenge.
that's tonight's twist. You'll be
I got.
playing each other's characters.
I'm not playing a martial character. What fucking sorcery is this? God damn it!
Well, for Key, it's literal sorcery.
Right.
He's Mira. Or they're Mira. So we're letting God swap everybody around to the correct places. But while we do that, let's go around the table and have everybody introduce themselves, starting with Kadir.
Hi, Mander J. Landy. Pronouns he, him. Playing your standard variant human samurai fighter martial class. Why am I always playing this class and race? Kadir. Yeah, it's great. Good to be back. What's up, everybody?
Samurai is like one of my favorite like fighter classes. Like I don't even look at the other fighters. I'm just like samurai. That's all I need.
Come on, I play Battlemaster all the time too, but yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
I ain't trying to make all those decisions. I'm just trying to hit big. I want to be the best archer in the game. And then, joining us as always, the lovely Jem. Please introduce yourself and tell people where they can find you.
I'm Jem. You can find me everywhere as Jemboree or Jemaginative on Instagram. And I on this channel all the time too. But here I'm playing Mira, the feisty little sorcerer. Yeah, she's really fun.
Cool. And we also have, also lovely, Michael Powell. Please introduce yourself.
Greetings and salutations, everybody. As always, I am Mr. Kapow, aka Michael Powell. I am taking on the role of your lovable plasmoid slimy boy Key. And honestly, I really want to play like a full caster at some point in my next game, I think, that I'm in, like wizard, or honestly, I haven't played cleric in like, I can't think when. I don't even know if I ever played cleric before. Wait, I have. But
I love a good caster. That's my go-to thing because that's the one thing I can't do in real life. In real life, I could shoot a bow, I can swing a sword, but I can't blow something up with my mind.
options, man, options.
I'm all about that magic. All right. What's up, November? Welcome. All right, so when we last left you guys, we had escaped from the king's secret prison. Kadir spent some time in there on the inside to get some information, kind of see the inner workings and kind of how dark it got. And then you fought your way, and I use the word fought loosely, fought your way through the prison to escape. Thanks to a gracious gift of the Mallard, you were able to polymorph your way through my encounter, and you were able to escape. And as you escaped, the king himself had arrived to kill you. But your friend from way back in your first mission, the very, let's say, generous Alistair, has acquired an airship and has rescued you from the clutches of what would look like certain death. And now with Dr. Cornelius Finch in tow, the gnome scientist and professor that you came to rescue, you are on your way, on the run, back to Glassagean and back to the Adventurers Guild, where hopefully you can make it home safe. Some quick reminders for everybody. When it comes to the Adventurers Guild territories or lands, they are considered their own kind of provenance. They're like an embassy. So if you are on the run, like you guys are, and you make it across that line, they cannot pursue you without contributing to a potential act of war.
So basically, like that Simpsons episode when they went to Australia.
Yeah. So your goal right now is to take this airship that you borrowed from the king, and get back to the Adventurers Guild as quickly as possible. Fortunately, an airship is faster than, say, taking a cart across the country. But you are coming from the tip or the northern end of Kaiser all the way to the southern point, so that you can make it safely. You could have tried to go to Hubris or Denra, but these are areas that are highly controlled by the king, and since the king thinks you're dead via an illusion from your friend Alistair, it may be safer to go straight to Glassagean, or at least that is the current plan. It has been a few hours. I would say probably about 4 to 5 hours of travel in the air. An airship isn't as fast as an airplane, but it's still covering a lot of ground as you travel through. During your travels, you kind of see Dr. Cornelius has healed everybody up. Everybody is fully rested. Something about being around him just kind of makes you feel healed and rested. As you take a short rest, you get the effects of a long rest. Any injuries you had sustained, he would have taken care of. And then immediately, very distractedly, he has been examining the engine of the airship, which is exposed and on the deck of the ship itself, because he's very interested in the Saurian crystal that is powering the ship. Your other compatriots on the ship are Alistair, who organized your rescue, and a goblin you have never met before, who seems to be flying the ship itself, and currently having a back and forth bickering with Alistair. Where would you guys like to be on the deck of the ship itself?
What's the furthest away from the Saurian crystal that I can be?
The furthest away...
Yeah, probably the bow, I'm assuming.
It is actually towards the front of the ship.
Okay.
So I would say you would be, to get the furthest away from it, you would probably be closer to the wheel, or the back of the ship, where Alistair and the goblin pilot are currently at.
Okay. So for those who may recall, I got exploded by a Saurian by a crystal early on. I kind of want nothing to do with them, so I am as far away as possible, and now just silently listening in on the argument that Alistair and the goblin are having.
So this is an important question, because none of your characters have done this before, so do think about this. How do you feel about heights? Because you've never been on an airship before. You've never been flying like this.
So if you notice, I rolled early in roll 20.
Oh, yeah.
That was a 17. My character is quite all right for being first time in the air. The free air is actually quite exhilarating.
Nice, nice. Let's see how everybody is feeling about being in the sky for the first time.
Mm. Want us to roll or do random?
Yeah, let's follow Kadir's example and roll a d20.
Okay.
We're not teleporting this one, so we might as well see how we feel. Test our sky legs, so to speak. And Kadir, I'll go ahead and place you on the map in that area. And since you're feeling good, you can be right here at the corner. As far away from that crystal as you could possibly be. Kadir, north or south? Make a call for me.
North.
Got it. All right, Mira, you're fine. You're like, honestly, it's kind of refreshing. You feel like everybody should fly. Like, why don't we do this to get everywhere? This is so easy. Key, unfortunately, you not a fan of looking down. You're fine as long as you're towards the center of the ship, but as soon as you look down and you realize that everything is so far away, there is an overwhelming feeling of dread
Okay,
because
okay.
you've never been this high up.
I'm gonna say actually, because of that, he's actually kind of sitting mesmerized by the Saurian crystal. Unlike Kadir, they have an interest in these kinds of things.
All right, so do you want to be next to Dr. Cornelius, or would you like to be on the other side of the engine itself?
Um, is there a side of the engine where there's like a lot of like like obviously not attached to the ship, but a lot of like spare parts?
There are no spare parts, and I wouldn't
Okay.
recommend taking it apart in the air.
Fair,
You
fair,
can
fair.
try, and I won't stop you, but I don't
Well,
recommend it.
I was gonna say 'cause usually they have like spare parts and tools and stuff like that lying around in case of
Those
play
would
something.
be held below deck.
Ah, okay, okay,
And there's not really any room below deck outside of like storage. So
okay.
you guys have kind of just been chilling above deck.
You know what? Then I'm gonna have Key kind of near Professor Dr. Cornelius
Okay.
and asking like a bunch of questions about the crystal, kind of like going, a mile a minute, like, what's that? So you think that the glow is kind of, vindictive of, do you think how will it react to, stuff like that?
And I will tell you that you talk fast and you think fast, but you can't even begin to keep up with Dr. Cornelius as he explains things. And the words he uses, none of them make sense. And half the time he switches between English and Gnomish, and then, or sorry, Common and Gnomish, and then to another language you don't recognize. But he's giving like detailed explanations. You're just really kind of catching half of it. Even as excited as you are, he is equally as excited, if not more. But he also has not seen a Saurian crystal in action like this since he's been in prison for so long. The airships were not a thing before he was placed into the prison. So that's why he himself is fascinated.
Mhm.
And Mira, where are you on the ship?
Yeah, so she is also a little curious about what he's telling Key about the crystal, but she's not close enough. She's close enough to hear, but not close enough that she's gonna get roped into this conversation.
Okay. So I will have you chilling near the engine, but not quite where the very talkative two are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, actually, same question, north or south? Do you have a preference?
No.
I'm gonna have you pick one.
Okay. South.
All right. Perfect. It's gonna matter later.
Okay. Great.
All right. I am going to pull all of you guys over to the ship map now. And hopefully you don't see any of my secret stuff, because I did everything correctly. but everybody should be swapped over to that map now. Cameraman Joe, feel free to put yourself on the map wherever you so please. The dead center is probably the best spot for what we're doing, and for the audience, I think. So let me know when everybody is over there.
Just tap where you want me to put.
Right there. Should be able to see everything from that spot. Everything but maybe Kadir's a little away. We'll just make sure everything's good here. It's only been a few hours, but if there's something you've been trying to figure out or doing while you are traveling, you can, but it's mostly been eating and drinking and resting. The ship has been well supplied, and Dr. Cornelius took care of all of your needs, and Alistair has been very graciously checking on you guys and kind of explaining the situation to a certain degree. I would zoom in right to that center. You're not going to need the... Here we go. Yep. Perfect. And while cameraman Joe adjusts that, we should be good to go. All right. So, what do you guys want to do? We'll go kind of in order from Kadir to Key to Mira, since that's kind of the order we placed you down in. Kadir, you can overhear the two of them going back and forth, and it's basically an argument about which direction to go. Alistair is trying to convince the goblin that he has to go to Glassagean if he wants to get paid. But also, the goblin is like, I want to go and take the ship to Rosh Qatar so I could get paid by the people who actually paid me. The back and forth is kind of going nowhere as the goblin makes a point, but Alistair is kind of so convincing that the goblin is just like reluctantly still heading in the right direction. But that's the conversation that you are overhearing. Is there anything you would like to do?
I am listening in. Can I tell that the captain of the ship is Alistair, right? Or is it the goblin?
So this is kind of for everybody here. When you guys came aboard, Alistair explained, "Oh, hello, dearies. So I actually acquired this ship via the help of this kind young goblin gentleman who was also there to acquire a ship. So I convinced him to, acquire a ship together. He's not an adventurer, but he is in the business of flying an airship, and I myself have never flown one, so it just seemed like a good partnership, so that I could come and, be of assistance to you all. So basically, he doesn't really know this goblin. This goblin was there to steal an airship as well, and they just agreed to work together. And now they've stolen an airship and picked up you, and now they're bickering over where to take the airship."
Okay, so do we explicitly know that they didn't actually say they stole it to us, right? We don't actually know that much, right? We just know they've acquired.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the king's airships that they took to come get you.
All right. I'm gonna mosey over. I hear their conversation, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna mosey over to them and just listen, both of you. First of all, thank you. Really appreciate it, what you're doing. It doesn't matter where we go, but as Kadir looks over his shoulder, anywhere far away from where we just were, that's where we need to go. That's the most important thing. I know that this is one of the king's airships, correct? Like, it's pretty obvious that this is one of the king's airships, right?
Yeah, this is one of the king's airships. The goblin quickly goes back to you.
Right.
Well, it was one of the king's airships. Now the airship is property of me, and by that, property of my employers.
Right. So you don't think that the king's going to want this back at any point? You don't think that he's going to try to follow and maybe take it back, which means we need to get as far away from him as possible.
And we're getting as far away as possible, but I want to take the ship to my employers per my contract, which is the opposite bloody direction that we're going.
So hear me out here. If you take the ship to your employers and the king is on our trail, wouldn't the king find out that your employers are the ones that told you? Aren't you putting your employers in danger if that's the case?
Not my business. I'm here. I got hired for a job, and I'm supposed to steal a ship, bring the ship back, and end of contract. I agreed to help rescue his friends because it was supposed to be on the way, and now we're going the bloody wrong direction.
I can tell you right now, having the heat of the king, probably not the best for business. So maybe the detour might be in our best interests. Just saying.
And Alistair kind of chimes in. He's like, well, exactly. So it's nice and easy, dear. We'll just go down. The Adventurers Guild is a safe zone. You'll be able to hide out there, and then you'll be able to fly the ship back to Rashkatar through the mountain pass instead of over the mountains, which is a terrible idea given the state of the storms.
Right. Exactly.
Roll an insight check for me.
I don't know what that sound was. But that's a 7.
Alistair's logic is very sound, and you're like, this goblin,
Right.
He's
and
making some good points.
I would imagine that our history with Alistair is already influencing my decision as well.
Yeah.
Listen, as long as we're going far away from wherever we are, it's fine. Wherever we land, it's fine. And I'd actually like to go back to my position where I was, because now I'm worried that if there's any heat on us, I want to be able to see it and alert the team.
Yeah, and well, for the record, you guys, Alistair created an illusion that made it look like the ship crashed. For quick remembrance, there was a moment where you were watching the other ship, and Alistair and Mira had a beautiful crashing ship moment, and Kadir and Key hugged each other as best friends, and the ship valiantly crashed into the cliffside while you guys all escaped.
I mean, I know I know the illusion happened, and it was quite believable, but just Kadir can't shake the feeling of being tailed.
Okay. Do you want to do anything, a perception check, or?
I would like to perception check just to be safe.
Okay.
Okay. Roll 20. Do the thing, please. That's 21.
That is a 21. So the night sky is dark and cloudy. You guys are traveling kind of in the cloud level, not quite above cloud level, not quite in the middle of it, but kind of below it. But there are still enough clouds around you that it's giving you a decent amount of coverage. Unfortunately, that coverage does not give you the best visibility. 21. Let me see what you see.
What's this Christmas? Do you see what I
I
see?
see. Let me see what your human eyes see. Yeah, it is dark and it is cloudy, and there does seem to be a storm kind of rolling in. So the sound of thunder and whooshing kind of fills the air as you feel like rain is coming maybe behind you. Off into the distance, you can hear rain begin to fall and a storm, almost as if it is chasing you. So maybe Alistair wasn't so full of shit when he was telling them about the storms. But you do notice, and this could be your imagination, that at certain parts, the clouds seem to move like waves. And they go and push down and push up. And you sort of notice that to the northern side of the ship. It seems to be just in that localized area. You can't make out if there's anything in the clouds or if this is just part of the storm, but you notice in that direction something is going on.
I'm gonna motion over to Alistair. Hey, should we? I'm not the most knowledgeable about anything up here. Usually we're down there. I'm gonna motion over. Is that of any concern to us?
Alistair looks over. Well, dear, it looks fine to me. How about you, gaudy old chap? Do you think it's something to worry about? You've flown an airship before, I think. And the goblin kind of goes, "Oh, I've flown many airships many times. There's just clouds, storming in the clouds. You know what happens, when you pilot airships so much, you hardly even notice."
Right. All right, well, I'm gonna keep eyes on this just in case something happens. The Kadir just can't shake the feeling right now, but
Don't mind those D20s I rolled.
No, we're not gonna mind those D20s you rolled, DM. Not at all.
Actually, Kadir, if you want to roll a quick insight, and then we'll go to Key.
14.
You're pretty sure he's never flown an airship before in his life.
Yeah, can't shake that feeling. We're gonna keep our eyes on the clouds.
Do you want to move anywhere else as you keep your eyes on that position?
Not really. I feel fixed right here.
Okay. Look, better safe. Key, swapping over to you. Dr. Professor Cornelius Finch, at your service. Young them, how can I help you?
He pulls out that little pink note in their head as always.
No.
Yes. Hello, Professor Dr. Cornelius type person. My name is Key, the Great Artificer.
It's Dr. Professor Cornelius Finch. You have to say the whole thing every time.
Professor Cornelius Finch type person.
Thank you.
Okay. Silver ranked adventurer, it is a pleasure to meet you. I hope we get along. If lost, please return to Master Lock in GRN in 827 South Sampa Way by the kebab stand. Then turn left to the second date tree, and if you see the tea shop, you've gone too far. Yeah. So.
I actually know that kebab stand.
Yes.
I know exactly where to take you.
It's delicious.
Perfect.
Exactly. Especially if you put chocolate sauce on the kebabs. So good.
I shall have to try that.
Exactly. And maybe get the whipped cream dipping sauce. They make it special for Key. Yeah, but yeah, so the Saurian crystal, do you think it actually emits any emissions, like harmful emissions or some type of I don't know, out of character? Is radiation a real thing in this world?
Radiation is it's a thing that exists in every world, scientifically speaking.
Is this something that
it's not something that's studied?
Is it something he would know?
Yeah, no. Harmful emissions is probably the best way to put it.
Okay. Harmful emissions or energy or,
Well, dear boy, unfortunately, at the time of my incarceration, I was still just learning about Saurian crystals and studying them and the weird mysteries. I do love a good mystery. And he kind of just goes on about mysteries for a bit. and he tells you about some books he read and some mysteries that he read and how he solved this one crime. And there was a giant dog, a big hound on a moor lake. And he just kind of goes into these little stories that goes, oh, but I digress. I don't know, but I believe that's why it's contained within this tube as it is being siphoned of its energy. If I had to hazard a guess, I would say probably not safe to take it out of that tube. If I was to make an educated guess, but unfortunately, I am here learning as you are learning. We are learning together, and it could not be more exciting.
Oh, yes, exactly. The group and I, we encountered this black saurian crystal also, which honestly had strange properties, like it raised the dead and it blew things up.
So as soon as you mention the black saurian crystal, you see his kind of demeanor kind of drop a little bit, and he's like, "Oh, yes. Unfortunately, I have encountered one of those before."
Yeah, we actually captured one. We have it in Mira's portable hole, but for some reason it won't come back out.
A portable hole.
Exactly. It's kind of like,
Please tell me more about that.
Yeah,
and
it's like a circle. It's like really dark. You can put things inside and take things out, or put it up against a wall to get to the other side of the wall. And yeah, I used I pushed it into that portable hole, but when we try to bring it back out for the Adventurers Guild, we couldn't find it.
we shall have to do some testing for science.
Science, exactly. It'll be interesting if we could actually maybe turn the big crystals or maybe chip it away to smaller crystals, because if the smaller crystals were able to be portable, imagine all the different uses we could use as an energy source.
And he agrees, and you guys just kind of go back and forth. And Mira, who can overhear this conversation, it just sounds like two parrots saying the same thing back and forth at each other, equally excited. It's like if Larry's bird was right next to it itself, yelling peanut back and forth to each other.
It's nerd talk.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to do, Key, while you're having this conversation?
Yeah. Oh, and also, another thing, I'm actually working on a project myself, and Key kind of pulls out, it looks like a half spear. And I'm just trying to figure out, these two gears work, but I'm still trying to figure out how to power this energy source here with this crystal here, and just, basically they're introducing their little companion friend that they're building.
Well, that is quite fascinating. Unfortunately, I am a doctor, professor, but not a artificer.
True, but if you think about it, like the body is also kind of like a machine.
A very deep thought. Speaking of bodies and machines, can I poke you?
Okay.
And he proceeds to kind of poke you. Thank you for your permission. Fascinating.
So basically, I think the two
And
of them
he
are nerd
begins
out.
to ask you things about yourself, and you guys just nerd out back and forth. Is there anything physically you would like to do?
Honestly, other than, you know what? I would like to see if I could roll. I'm not sure exactly what to roll for this. To get more information, to see if maybe it would be insight. If Professor Cornelius Finch would actually knows more than he's actually admitting to about the black saurian crystals.
Yeah, that's a good. Roll some insight on it, because he did change the subject quite quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, you're just excited to be talking about yourself. To somebody who is equally excited to listen.
All right. Well, other than that, I think they're just gonna be just nerding out for the next however long they could. We'll
Yeah,
see who can outlast who.
it was
know?
clear even to Key that he changed the subject quickly, but he also just seems to get distracted very easily. Like
Like he,
very distracted. Even like mid conversation, he will just like full ADD squirrel and like be like, "Oh, I was sorry, cloud," like looking at things. And on that note, uh, Mira, what would you like to do during all of these fun conversations?
Yeah, so Mira's just been brooding a little bit, semi-listening to what they're saying, but looking out, wondering if they did get away unscathed or what's going to happen next when they land. Um, she's going to perk up when she hears about the black crystal being mentioned. And see, and I think she's going to want to see if she can tell Cornelius, because she doesn't really trust Cornelius.
Okay. I mean, he is the king's uncle, so it's fair to not want to trust him.
Yeah. She thinks there's more to the story than him just being locked away. And so should I roll something?
Yeah, roll insight, please.
Okay. Dang.
So similarly, you could tell he for sure changed the subject, but his reason for changing the subject seemed more sad than trying to hide something.
Mm-hmm.
Like something sad happened to do with a dark crystal, but you can't really tell. Like he's not hiding it, but he's definitely avoiding a conversation.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel like anything he is saying is a lie. As he goes back and forth with Key, he does genuinely seem excited about Key because he's never seen a plasmoid before. He does seem excited about the crystal. He does seem excited about the portable hole and science and all of these things that he's never experienced because he's been in prison for years now. So a lot of the stuff he's excited about is just like new science, new technology, new the world and the people who rescued him. He seems interested in all of you as well.
Yeah.
But he's only really pointed direct questions at Key.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I don't want him to talk to me. And then I'm going to be I think I might move to a spot where I can see the side of the boat a little bit better because it looks like I've got like stuff in front of me.
Yeah, that in front of you is the engine itself.
Okay.
It is a kind of circular area where the engine has a tube that comes up, and the center of that tube is the Saurian crystal, and then there are tubes siphoning power from the crystal itself. But it is out and kind of right there.
Mm-hmm. I think I want to go to the edge of the ship, so like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna look out.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Yeah.
So you look out among the clouds, and similarly, you can see there's a storm. You can hear the rain. It's all kind of refreshing. As you look out, uh, even though it's dark, you can kind of make out the shapes of forests coming into view, which hopefully means you're heading in the right direction, because there are so many forests around Glacigean. But in that direction, yeah, you can mostly see forests and mountains begin to come into view as you look around, and they're not far off. You're almost directly above the forest to a certain degree, and the mountains you could see, but it is quite the distance, and it is obviously it is dark and cloudy, very cloudy. All right. I need to do one thing. So, how do we want to say this? Each of you is kind of settled into the ship. You've kind of, two of you kind of have your guard up. Key is distracted with the doctor professor, and the other two seem to be heading in the right direction, and everything seems to be going well. When suddenly, and without warning, there is a loud crash against the side of the ship.
Great.
And hopefully you can all see what just crashed into the side of your ship and is gripping the ship itself. As I will need everybody to roll for initiative.
Yeah. Click token, roll initiative. Oh, jeez.
In my head right now, I have the airship fight scene from Final Fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
A little inspired.
Nice.
Oh, E.
Wow. So fast.
So quick. Roll20 moved a bunch of stuff around, so I'm just getting my stuff set up.
Yeah, the UI is upgraded.
Though we love Roll20, we would like them to sponsor us.
Oh, I said it was upgraded.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a good night last night on Roll20. It was great. Gosh, I am slow today.
Well, luckily, you guys aren't alone. But as you're sitting there on the ship, loudly from the clouds, and Kadir, you kind of see it before it hits. From the top of the cloud bank comes a large, it's sort of reddish orange wyvern. And it immediately claws and grips into your ship, and is now holding on to the side there as it tears, doing 25 damage to the ship itself with its claw attack. None of you have ever seen a dragon or a wyvern in person. In the New World, they are impossibly rare. For some reason, they just don't live in this area. So to see one, and not only see one, but to be attacked by one, is extraordinary by any stretch of the imagination, because these are creatures from books. And creatures of the old world. In the old world, there are dragons everywhere. There are wyvern and drake everywhere. But to see one like this, very rare. And Kadir, I'm going to say, because you had a 21 on your perception check, and I like to let those things carry a little, you notice there is something else weird about this wyvern. It has a collar that looks like a giant version of the slave collars around its neck. And the other thing you notice, its eyes, despite being a very red and, probably related to a crimson dragon or a red dragon, its eyes are very, very brightly green. Like a green you have never seen before.
Would you
So-
say that, would I know that this is unnatural?
It's you as a person would know that a wyvern in Kaiser is very unnatural.
Okay.
They do not hunt in these areas. They do not live in these areas. They
But just for the status of the wyvern itself, with the glowing green eyes and whatnot.
the glowing green eyes doesn't strike you as odd because you've never seen a wyvern.
Fair enough. Yep.
But it does give you that menacing fear when you see it. The other thing about that is the collar itself. You've never seen a collar this size. You've never heard of collars being put on a creature. They work on people and humanoids, and as far as you knew, things like Dragonborn were resistant to collars. They don't work on them. So this is so strange for you on so many levels, because one, this creature shouldn't be here. Two, why does it have a slave collar on its neck? And three, why is it trying to kill you? But it is actively tearing into your ship currently. All right, I believe I've corrected the initiative. Cornelius had one from last time. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Key, you were fast as fuck. And you're gonna be first with Dr. Professor Cornelius on deck. Mira, and then Alistair, and then our new wyvern friend. And then Kadir, you are rounding us out on this turn.
Which would be honestly, I'm trying to get cover and hide. Would it be easier to get behind these sacks, what it looks to be sacks, or this circular thingy?
That's a barrel.
Oh, that's a
so
barrel?
There's a barrel, and there are some food sacks, supplies.
What's the red circular thing right next to the right of Key?
Can you hold click on it?
To the right. I don't remember how.
Right here?
Oh, okay. So right click on it. Okay. This one right here.
Oh, that is the engine.
Oh, that's the engine?
Yeah, that is where the Saurian crystal is.
Okay. Let's see here. I think I remember how to do this. Nope. All right, screw it. He is going to. What's this actually? Then.
So that is a kind of a vent that is venting out from the lower deck.
Okay, so that's not something that Key could. Is this something that's like raised so you could hide behind and get cover?
No, you'd have to step on the cloth area that's covering that that leads below deck.
Gotcha.
So you couldn't step on it per se. You could try to like climb onto it or in it, but I wouldn't recommend it as you are in the middle of the air with a dragon or a wyvern, which is a very important distinction, shaking your ship.
Gotcha. So I think I'm gonna have Key move behind the engine over here as my move action first.
Okay.
Right here.
All right.
And I am going to use my cunning action here to hide. So hide. What is hide? Oh, wait, where is hide? Oh, hide would be stealth, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so. I've never played a rogue.
So Key's gonna hide. I got a 25 on that.
You believe you were hidden.
All right. And he is going to use pull out their it looks to be kind of a rod slash pipe with an opening on one end and looks to be kind of ruby on other, and pressing the button on both sides, the sides open up into kind of this bow of a crossbow. It's their new upgraded rod, the rapid operating device,
Okay.
and fire off a bolt.
1 second. Your cunning action is your bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, go ahead.
Okay.
Take your shot.
16. What does 16 hit?
A 16 does hit.
All right. So if I do get that sneak attack, that's 10 plus 11 plus 10, so that'll be a 21.
21 damage, yeah.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
And you also successfully got its attention as it looks up at you and grips into the ship just a little bit more angrily.
Let go of the ship.
So that's your bonus, your action, and your movement.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to do?
I don't think I have any other options.
No, I appreciate you taunting the wyvern. So Dr. Cornelius Finch, it is his turn. He's going to sort of look around and be like, "Oh, there appears to be a dragon aboard. Oh, sorry, a wyvern. It has 2 legs and wings instead of 4 legs and wings, which would make it a dragon." And he begins to explain the difference between a wyvern and a dragon. And he casts Bless. Measuring. Unfortunately, he can only get himself, Key, and Mira. So Mira, Key, and Dr. Cornelius, Professor Finch, have Bless. Key.
I think you said that in the beginning of the game that we got healed up to full hit points, right?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
You got the effects of a long rest thanks to Dr. Professor Cornelius
Gotcha.
Finch, and now you're blessed.
Yeah.
And so he casts Bless as he's explaining this to both of you. And Mira and Key, when you feel the Bless hit you, you feel that sensation of aha, that moment of realization, that moment of, oh, that song I was trying to think of and couldn't remember the name of, now I remember it. That's that sensation that you feel as you are blessed with knowledge to a certain degree, from the professor himself.
Ooh, tingly.
Mira, that is going to make it your turn, as the Dr. Professor is not going to move, and he's going to continue to look at the engine and write in his book.
All right. And a bless is
So a bless,
D4
yeah,
to an attack roll. Okay, cool.
yeah, you should be able to, and I'll be able to, I'll see if I could turn it off on and off on your character sheets, but there's a way to add it to each roll that you do it via the sheet.
Yeah. I am going to cast. Oh, my character sheet just moved without me.
Oh, that's
Like-
me. Sorry. No, I was trying to bless you.
I was just trying to bless you.
Gesundheit.
I am going to
Nice.
cast Ray of Sickness on the wyvern.
All right. Wyvern, why?
Is there anything I need to do to target the wyvern?
I believe you just cast the spell like you
Okay.
would. The distance, though, you will be shooting through the engine, so you're gonna need to move
Okay.
around to. I mean, he's big. You can see him, but he's gonna get a little bit of partial cover where you're standing right now.
Does that help from here?
I would say one more step forward, and you're good.
Okay. Great.
Yes, perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just getting this UI mixed up with another one. But I'm gonna cast Ray of Sickness.
All right. 17 definitely hits. He has to make a DC 14 Constitution save or be poisoned, right?
Mhm.
Or let me see the spell description. On a hit, the target takes 2d8 poison and must make a Constitution save on a failed save. Yep, poisoned. All right. So he still takes that damage regardless.
And that was Battle Blast. Yeah.
Well, that was without bless, but you didn't need the bless.
Yeah, I didn't need it.
Constitution, right?
Yep.
DC 14, and we got. Don't you do this to me, roll 20.
Mhm.
There we go. Ooh. Poisoned.
Dang.
Ooh, nice.
Let me double check. Yep.
Right.
Even though it is a creature that can poison, it is not resistant to poison. Fun fact about the wyvern. Wyvern, why? All right, so he is poisoned, and he is going to take that sweet, sweet, sweet 8 damage. Until the end of your next turn, it is poisoned. So he'll take another, I believe it's D8 of poison damage at the start of your next turn. Or at the start of his turn.
Cool.
All right, anything else you would like to do?
How much did I move? I'm gonna move back.
Moved about 15 feet. It's not a
Yeah,
big
move
ship.
back. Yeah, we're gonna move back there to the side. And then I think I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay, you do still have a bonus action.
Yeah.
All right. Then it is going to come to Alistair Chanston. Our dear friend, who is going to immediately scream out because he's never seen a wyvern before, and cast Armor of Agathis on himself. All right, and he is going to similarly decide that he no longer needs to be near the piloting of the ship, but is now coming over to this area to put a little bit of distance between him and the wyvern and give himself a little bit of cover. And then that brings us to the wyvern. The wyvern is going to begin to claw its way onto the ship a little bit further, pulling itself down. And while it does that, it is going to damage the ship again. with 15 more damage as it tears into the planks of your ship. And that sail that was off to the side is basically beginning to fall. Let's see how far away Key is. Okay. All right, he's going to move even further in, clawing at the ship one more time as he, like a shark in the water, is tearing through the ship to get towards Key. Unfortunately, that does not damage the ship, but he's still moving in that direction. As he moves in that direction, the ship begins to tilt by the weight of this creature. And you all suddenly remember that you are very, very high above the ground. Kadir, it is your turn.
Do I still have those 2 charges on my polymorph rod?
You do.
we're gonna try that. We're gonna try for it.
Now, since you magically got that as a gift from the Mallard, and when you receive a gift from the Mallard, you do get knowledge about the thing itself. You know that the chances of succeeding on a creature that is large, the bigger the creature is than you, the chances of succeeding begin to go down.
I see what you're hinting.
But they're not.
It's not 0.
Not 0. So I'm saying there's a chance, but it is. This creature is a little bit of a size difference between you.
Are you still trying to dissuade me? I'm like, it might be better off saved as a last ditch. All right, we're gonna table that. DM, you've convinced me enough. I kind of want to see you swing for the fence, but I have to be fair. I don't want you to do it and think you succeeded, and then it's. That's fair. No, something's telling me don't try it just yet. That being said, let's pop a fighting spirit for our bonus action. We're gonna go up. You said the wyvern is on the ship now, correct? Like.
He's like, imagine biting into a sandwich. There's a big chunk of the ship that is missing. He is still hanging off of that end as the top half of his body is coming through the planks and in the direction of Key.
All right. Well, as he's coming up, I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to rush and I'm going to take my first strike one-handed at ye old wyvern. And this is with advantage. It's a 21 to hit.
Yeah, I think a 21 hits.
That'll be 10 slashing. Do I have to declare that the sword is on fire?
You do have to act. Did you use you used a fighting spirit?
I did, yes.
If you had it out and you used the fighting spirit, the flames come up automatically.
Got it. So that'll be 10 slashing damage and 8 fire damage.
Now, I will let you know that it actually takes half of the fire damage.
That's fine.
Because it's resistant.
It is resistant to fire, so 14 damage?
Yep.
Cool. I will take my second attack then and slash one more time at advantage. 20 to hit.
Jesus. Yeah, 20 hits.
All right, so that'll be 10 slashing and 6 fire halved to 3, so 13 extra damage. So 14 plus 13, 27 damage?
Yes.
Cool. It's bursty time. I'm burning that action surge. I'm slashing again. Let's go. That is only a 15 to hit this time. But, No, I'm not gonna use it yet. 15 to hit.
A 15 does not hit.
All right, I'm gonna take one more attack then. That's not gonna hit either. So the first 2 hit and the second 2 whiffed. Damn, I burned it.
You still got a really big chunk out of this thing.
Cool.
And it is very angry and now angry in your direction.
That's cool. I would like to call, since I have the slasher feat, not that it's really gonna matter, but the speed of the target is now reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think he's gonna need that 10 feet, but fair.
You never know.
Yeah. There's only 10 feet of the ship left.
You know what? You can't move that 10 feet. You stay put. And that ends my turn.
All right. So we are going to take a quick break because I'm starting to do a little dance. I don't know about everybody else, but we're going to take a quick break here. And then we will come back in 10 minutes to finish our fight in the sky with the Wyvern. Key, you're going to be up, so be prepared with Mira on deck. All right. If God will give us a break, I'll do my little dance.
Make a little love.
I had a lot of Red Bull and a lot of water and a lot of tea.
Red Bull, water, tea. Is that like the triple drink rule?
You know?
Yeah.
Do what you got to do.
Yes.
Ready?
Yep.
3,
Cool.
2.
Hello, guys. So sorry for the quick and sudden break. I had many liquids today, and I was doing a little dance. So hopefully everybody got a chance to stretch their legs. But I did want to say hi to everybody in the audience. Hello, Mizuno. You didn't know Kapow was here? Oh yeah, every other Tuesday. And thank you, Paige Dyer, for the rating. We should shout out Paige. Does anybody know Paige? Is Paige a friend? Do I know you, Paige? Well, they know the Kapow brand. So, hello everybody who came in on the raid. Brad says he loves kebabs. Do you love kebabs with chocolate sauce, Brad? Because Mizuno is all about that chocolate sauce. No, DM needs to do one thing: rolls a bunch of d20s. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. Sometimes I just like to. I get bored and I need to roll a dice. Has nothing to do with a wyvern in the sky. Rogues are fun. I think out of all the classes in D&D, the one I've never like been excited to play was a rogue. I don't know about you guys.
Rogues and Rangers, those are my go-to.
Those are your go-to? I like Rangers because I like having a pet and I like shooting the bow, but I've never been like stealthy ninja edgelord kind of thing.
Best combo, Ranger Rogue.
Ranger Rogue?
Yeah, get that sneak attack on the shooty shoots.
Maybe I'll do. I like your Ranger Artificer. I want to get an Artificer with a gun and just, or sorry, your Rogue and Artificer, and then just steady aim. Advantage with a gun.
Or steady aim with a bow and arrow as a ranger.
I think Artificer is my next go-to.
They're fun. They've been fun. It's been fun.
I do sorcerers and bards and warlocks. Those are my. I keep it to charisma magic. That's my go-to. So I really like Mira, because she's charisma magic.
My first time playing sorcerer.
It's very exciting.
First time playing Artificer.
Later, once you get used to sorcerer, you're like, what can I do to add to this? And I like to do a Sorlock combination, which is a sorcerer and a warlock, and you basically just blast forever. You're just like boom 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 boom. That's my favorite combo because you can recover your meta magic with warlocks pretty easily. All right, I think everybody is back.
Been a while since I played Wizard. Wizards are fun.
Wizards are fun. Andrew, what's your favorite and least favorite class is what we're kind of talking about. Same for you, Jem. We kind of got pals. I waited until you were eating and chewing.
Yeah, thanks. But favorite class to play? It's actually Blood Hunter.
Oh,
Well, are we only going with official classes? Because there are some other classes that I've played.
I would say keep it to official.
So Blood
because-
Hunt, yeah.
Because then War Mage was the first class I played, and then I found out later that my DM kind of homebrewed that.
Okay, yeah. The Blood Hunter is definitely my favorite class to play. I mean, I could say like fighter, but that's like 97.3% of everything I play in D&D. But yeah, Blood Hunter is actually like super fun to me. I always enjoyed that. Least favorite, I couldn't tell you because I haven't played everything yet, actually, because I've been such a fighter centric person because I wanted to explore every subclass on its own.
I like that
done.
very political answer. Don't offend anybody. I don't have a least favorite.
I really don't, but but yeah, they're all fun. At some point, I will play a spellcaster. At some point, I'll play a bard. I just don't know when.
Do it.
Yeah.
Jem, what about you? Least and chat. What is your least and favorite?
I think my favorite was a warlock, but I barely got to play it because our campaign kind of died. But I was having a lot of fun with my warlock. I'm currently playing like a system called Level Up 5e, where I'm playing a cleric, but it's like a very different form of a cleric than normal 5e, and I'm loving that one too.
Okay.
It's so super fun. But I haven't played them all yet. I think I won't enjoy Wizard. I feel like I won't enjoy Fighter because all the maneuvers, like just reading it, kind of confuses me.
Yeah,
But
Battlemaster Fighter is.
I want to play.
Yeah.
I think my least favorite though, because I've played all of them. Druid, actually.
I love Druid.
I'm not a big fan
Wow.
of druids.
Hates animals. Cancel Michael Powell.
No, I like
Cancel
animals. Hey, Ranger has an
Bodied.
animal companion. A Ranger has an animal
Bodied.
companian. Just saying.
Mike.
So does
Another
the
game I just
Artificer.
flew for the first time. It was really cool.
November says Duralath as a bard would slay.
Now,
with
see, everybody
multiple wives.
says that. I don't know, honestly, if that.
Any
if-
excuse to hear your beautiful singing voice, I
Oh
think is worth
Lord.
it.
Here's what's gonna happen is if you guys if a campaign wants me to play a bard and actually do bardish stuff, we're gonna make that a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Fun.
I want to do a bard that's just a cover artist and he just covers like popular music.
Oh, just be a Kenku bard then, which makes no
Yeah.
sense at all. But yeah.
Ooh.
My second D&D class I ever played was a bard, and I also played a bard who focused on tango dancing.
Nice.
Yeah, so they
Well,
kicked other people in the face a lot.
Chat, November, what is your least and most favorite class? And we are going to get back into this. God, if you're there, I'm noticing on the stream that we're not seeing the rolls come up. Just a heads up there. Then everybody could see how good or bad we're doing. But yeah, everybody thumbs up or down around the table if you're ready to go. Sweet. All right. So there you were, minding your business, with half of a ship left. As a wyvern is currently taking up a good, again, a bite out of a sandwich has been taken out of this ship as pieces begin to fall. And it is Key's turn.
All right, so what Key is gonna do is, got a question. Is the Wyvern, are they holding on to the ship by their feet claws, or like gripping it by the mouth?
So currently the mouth is free as the front claws have been doing most of the damage and gripping into the ship. You can't see the bottom half, but you can assume that the Well, you could see part of the bottom half, but the other legs are gripped onto it as well.
Okay. I was wondering, would it be possible for me to cast Tasha's Caustic Brew on the joint of the leg that's closest to Key? I'm trying to at least get one of them loose. It's a pretty big target, I think, since though it's pretty big.
You to quote someone else, you could certainly try.
All right. That is what Key is going to do with their combat action. So, let's see here. Public roll. The heck? Wait. Did I do something wrong?
No, you cast the spell.
Okay.
7 acid. And noticeably for everybody, sorry, I forgot to say at the top of this round, the ship is beginning to go down. You are much further away from the clouds as time ticks on and as this thing tears into the ship. And that poor goblin is just yelling and screaming and trying to hold on to the steering wheel as best as he can.
All right. I believe that each creature in the line must succeed on a dex save, and I think that's just the Wyvern. So
Yes.
Yeah.
30 foot from where you are?
Yeah. I think I'm targeting. Yeah, that's just a Wyvern, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The wyvern and the ground, but we'll get to that.
Okay. So I believe they need to make a dex save.
Let's see how good their dexterity is. As you can imagine, it's a big creature, so not great. And I'm going to say it's so bad that you do hit that joint and arm. Let's see if it holds on. It does hold on, though.
Gotcha. But oh, sorry. Go ahead.
But it is going to take that 7 damage.
And at the start of...
And the ship itself is also going to take 7 damage.
Also, at the start of each of their turns, they will be taking 2d4 acid damage.
Oh yeah, did it take poison damage?
Oh, on its turn, yes. Mira, roll. Was it a D8 for the poison or a D6?
Let's scroll up. We've done so much.
We have. It's been a very active campaign so far. Or session so far. Official rules is when something is poisoned, it takes 1d12 of poison damage.
Oh.
Cool.
Well, that's lovely.
Isn't it?
So
Yeah.
I roll that.
Yeah, roll a d12. It's your damage. All right. It takes another 5 damage.
All right. He's now going to do their movement action, which is going to be they're going to move behind to the other side of the engine. Basically, I'm trying to get at least some cover, at least, half cover or quarter cover. I'm going to hide behind Dr. Professor.
If you go behind that engine, you're going to get full cover. You're not going to be... The engine is taller, basically, or as tall as you.
Okay. Well, that's what he's going to do. And I have my bonus action, which Key is going to be casting.
Hold on. 1 second. Okay. So moving there, you do take an attack of opportunity.
So can I use my cunning action to disengage them? to not take Pack of Opportunity.
Yes. Put it in the chat for me.
Okay.
I'll let you do it this time, but next time.
Gotcha. Let's see here. Connection.
Okay, starting at bonus action. All right, so you disengage and then move. So that's your bonus, your action, and your movement.
Yeah, so that's the end of my turn.
All right. Dr. Professor Cornelius continues to examine the Saurian crystal, and in fact, he's began to tinker with the engine itself. You're not really sure what he's trying to accomplish, but he does not seem focused on the wyvern at all. And in fact, he seems very happy with what he's doing as he continues to just hum to himself and tinker. Mira, you are up next.
All right. I'm going. How is it looking?
The wyvern looks really rough. It's got acid on its body. It is cut like all over thanks to Kadir. And on its other arm and side, it's got cuts. It's got acid on one side, so it is looking rough.
Okay.
I would say not like dead, but it is looking rough.
All right. I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on it.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Okay. And don't worry about that D20 I just rolled.
He says.
Yeah.
Thank you. Dissonant Whispers. All right, so it needs to make a wisdom saving throw, right? What do you say to this wyvern as you cast Dissonant Whispers?
So it says discordant melody, so I think I'll just hum something really eerie, like a dark lullaby sound.
All right, and as you do, like, you feel that mind energy glow around you as you connect to this thing and begin to whisper into its brain. Can I have you roll a wisdom saving throw as well?
For me?
Yeah, for no reason.
Oh, geez.
Don't even worry about it. Okay, so it does have advantage on its save, but you also succeed your save.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
sorry.
looks like you rolled twice.
Yeah, I meant to do it. I forgot it auto did advantage, but the 17's enough anyway.
Yeah.
So for some reason, it has advantage.
Wonder why.
So on a failed, it would take the 3d6. On a save, it doesn't do anything, right?
It takes half damage, but doesn't move away.
Okay. So it is going to take half of 7. Call that 4. All right. Anything else you would like to do?
Did I detect something that I had to save?
Oh yeah, you got a 20. So when you went to speak or speak into its mind with your dissonant whispers, with your hum, and make that connection to frighten it, you felt another presence push back against you. And it said something, but you couldn't make out what it said, but it sounded familiar. And in that moment, you kind of just lock with its green eyes, but you can't. You know that it tried to fight back or reflect what you were doing, and it didn't send it back to you.
Okay. I'm gonna try and zoom. I'm gonna quicken spell mirror image.
Okay. Your signature spell as you cast reflections of yourself. Is there anything else you want to do? Movement, action. You can speak. You can move. You could jump for it. I wouldn't recommend jumping for it.
I am not jumping. I'll move back a little bit. Is this still a safe spot to be at? Or
Yeah.
am I on a platform? Okay.
No, you're kind of in that little corner now.
Cool.
And that area is flat, so you're not really getting coverage. So you're just kind of like in a little tucked away corner.
I will yell out that I think it's being controlled. And I'll end my turn.
All right. When you say that, Professor Cornelius kind of looks up and he goes, "That is an astute observation. It does appear to have some sort of slave collar on it. And honestly, why is a wyvern here?" And then he goes back to immediately being distracted and trying to fix or trying to tinker with something. In that moment, there is a small explosion. And the ship is now on fire.
No.
Right around this area. So the ship is on fire. It is falling apart. And it is Alistair's turn. Alistair is going to cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on the thing. But he also needs to make a wisdom saving throw. That he does not succeed.
No.
So you see Alistair begin to cast magic in the direction of this creature, and you see its eyes turn, and in that moment, Mira, you see the eyes go green with a flash, and Alistair's eyes go green with a flash, and suddenly he is on the ground, laughing, and is prone. And that, unfortunately, is going to be his turn. Prone, incapacitated. So yeah, at the end of his turn, he's going to have to try to save that. And now it is our wyvern's turn.
who takes acid damage right off the bat.
Does. How much? Go ahead and roll for it.
All right, I believe. Let me look up. Scroll up a little bit. 2d4.
2d4. Go ahead and roll for it. It's your damage.
2d4. 6.
Nice. And how long does that persist?
See, I believe it says here. It just says at the start of each of its turn. I don't think it has a duration.
No. I guess until the acid fades or is wiped off.
Yeah,
Just like fire.
yeah. And doesn't it also take poison damage from Mira's thing too?
Mira's only lasts for
Ah.
1 turn.
Got it.
All right, so it takes the 6. What else are we gonna do?
That's it.
Oh, that's its turn.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, the wyvern is going to once again claw into the ship. It appears to be doing some damage still. And then the other thing it's going to do is swing its tail up and try to sting Kadir. Kadir, does a 25 hit you?
Sadly.
Ooh.
You're going to take 10 piercing and 27 poison damage
So I'm taking 37 damage. Wow.
as the spiked tail of this creature comes up and stings you like a scorpion.
So that is -5 for the temporary. So that means 32. So 45 minus 32. I'm at 13 hit points. Okay. Hey, DM, question.
Mm-hmm.
Because the wyvern attacked the ship first, it attacked the ship first, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the ship counting as a separate target from us?
Yes.
Does the wyvern have sentinel?
I don't believe it does.
Then I'm taking my reaction to attack the wyvern, and technically, because my turn has not come up yet, I still have advantage through fighting spirit.
Nice.
Okay.
This build is stupid. It's a dirty 20.
It is a dirty 20.
So
I
that'll
think that
be
hits.
Yep, so that'll be 11 slashing and then 5 half to 2, so 13 points of damage on the wyvern for that one.
Yeah, it is definitely targeting the ship almost intentionally.
Okay. All right, so that 13 points of damage. So that is the reaction I took off of it attacking the ship.
All right. And the ship is beginning to crack on its own, where the center of that chunk is missing, and fire is going down the side. And the ship is still going down pretty quickly. Kadir, it is your turn, and then Key, you are on deck.
Alrighty then. I took a lot of flipping damage off of that thing. So fuck it, we ball. Fighting spirit as a bonus action. Give me 5 hit points back. Alright. Swinging time. Swinging one more time at this thing. 25 to hit.
It does.
That'll be 9 slashing and 8 half to 4. So 9 plus 4, 13 points of damage on that first strike. Take a second strike here. That's 10s both ways, so that's not going to hit.
Nope.
All right, and does it really matter if I invoke Slasher on this? Not really. So that ends my turn.
All right. Key, you are on deck, but before your turn, you loudly hear the captain, and I put captain in quotes, goblin yell out, "Hold on to your butts! We're going to land! And it's not one of those landings that you plan. What's the word for that?" As Mira, you can kind of see this. Those trees and forest and ground are suddenly much, much closer to you. And you can feel your bodies aren't going down so quickly that you're losing your footing, but it's that feeling you feel like when you're on an elevator and you feel that shift in your weight as you go down. The ground is coming very quickly. And the ship is not holding well as the fire continues to spread. And it is spreading in your direction, Key and Mira. Oop.
Okay. Earlier, like I remember behind that fire, there was, you said there were sacks and barrels that are on fire.
Well, the barrel has fallen off, and what is left of the sacks is on fire.
Okay. So
and the fire is beginning to get really close to that engine where that Saurian crystal is. That some of you, I think Kadir especially, remembers. They blow up.
Okay. I'm gonna have he cast catapult on as much of the on fire debris at the wyvern.
Okay.
So basically, kind of like literally a fiery catapult shot.
Go for it.
All right. Okay. Casting it at, let's see here, level 1. So 18.
Okay. I'm gonna say that it's 18 hit.
I think that's damage. You have to make a dex save, I think. Yeah, dex save.
Okay. We'll get to the damage in a second because
Gotcha.
that's gonna matter because of what you shot.
Okay.
But let's see if it makes the dex save and if we even have to have that conversation. Needs to make what level save?
Dex saving throw.
But what level?
Oh, it's a level. I'm casting it as a level 1 spell.
Okay, the spell didn't put its saves, so you cast at level 1. Blah 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 blah. Through you cast the second line, 5 pounds, 1d8. Okay. It should be a dex save of 12, so I think he meets it.
Okay. Darn. All right.
On a failed, the object strikes the target and stops moving. The strikes the object when it strikes. But what does it happen? Nothing happens if it succeeds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I believe if it succeeds, the object just stops. Because if it doesn't succeed, the object just keeps going, and whatever's behind it also gets hit.
Got it. All right, so it did not take any damage for that. What do you want to do now?
All right. No, it does take the damage, actually. It says on a fail save, the object strikes the target and stops moving. So it just hits it and stops. Because usually you cast a spell in a straight line and you have other like enemies on a straight line behind them.
Okay.
So it just takes 3d8 bludgeoning damage, and I don't know if fire damage because it's on fire.
So it's actually just going to take fire damage because
Okay.
there's not really enough of that left.
Okay.
And I think we'll just translate your bludgeoning into fire. Yeah,
Cool.
because that was 3d8. So it's going to take half of that.
All right.
So half of 18 is 9.
All right. Do you want me to roll or no roll?
No,
Oh.
it's already in there for you.
Oh, gotcha.
It already roll
yeah,
20
you're right,
does
you're
the
right.
math for you.
Yeah. I'm not
Please
used to
sponsor us. Cool. All right, so it takes that damage. It is looking rough.
And he, for their movement, is going to, God dang it, move back near Mira. And I was wondering if I could use my cunning action to kind of go liquid. You know how when you're in car accident, you're supposed to go limp to, survive and everything? That's basically
Oh, you're
kinda
trying to change your shape into your ball form?
more of just a liquid form. So I
You
don't
can't
think.
go into a liquid form. You only have 2 forms.
Okay, then
I will say if you do the ball form, it may help you with the impending crash.
okay, I'll go ball form.
Okay. And I'll let you do that for your
Okay.
bonus. All right. It is
Yeah,
Dr. Professor Cornelius's turn. He seems to still just be standing next to the fire, looking at everything.
Dude.
He begins to cast mending. As he is trying to repair the area around the engine where the fire has begun to do damage. And as he does this, he's casting mending and sort of putting like protection around the actual crystal itself. He goes, everyone, by my calculations, we should all brace for impact. He says loudly as he begins to grip onto the engine itself, not concerned with the fire that is building around him. Mira, it is your turn.
Okay. I not have anything super helpful with repairing the ship. But I am going to pull out my bracelet and bring out the Shadow Wolf. Summon the Shadow Wolf.
Oh, okay. So he can crash with you. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you want to place him?
Right next to Wyvern.
Okay. Oh, you should be able to move him yourself, but whoop. There he is.
Yeah.
The goodest shadow boy. Who doesn't have a name yet, right?
No.
Okay. All right. So you summon him. I believe that's your bonus action.
I think that's an action. Let me look. Oh, bonus action. You're right. Yeah. And then I'm so nervous to do anything with the mind stuff. I am going to shoot a chaos bolt at him.
Yeah, Chaos Bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 22 definitely hits. Let's see that sweet, sweet spell description. So you need to roll a d8 for the damage type.
Let's choose one of the d8s that I already rolled.
Yep, and you rolled a 2, a 6, and a 5.
Well, the 5 is from the D6, so I think I'll do cold damage.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it is going to take how much cold damage?
13.
13. Mira, what does it look like when you slay the wyvern?
Sorry, puppy. I whip out my shears, and a bolt of cold, icy, shimmery energy goes directly at, I want to say, his mouth, where
Okay.
he's blowing fire.
Well, he doesn't breathe fire. The fire is just an explosion. But yeah, right
okay.
at the mouth where those roars are coming from is
Mhm.
perfect. All right, so you shoot this icy blast of chaos into this creature's mouth, and you see its eyes roll back as its head freezes and the begins to crack as it breaks, as its head becomes disjointed from the top, and the blood of this wyvern begins to spill out in this icky green fluid from its throat.
Hmm.
And the wyvern is dead. But the ship is still sinking. I need everyone to brace for impact. Key, you're going to get advantage on this as the ship crashes into the ground. Unfortunately, Alistair is still under the effects of his own spell, so he is not bracing for impact. But everybody else, please give me either a strength or a dexterity save to brace for impact as this ship crashes. Key,
Are Mira, he, and the professor still under effects of bless?
you are.
Okay. Mira, don't forget you can also roll a d4.
Yeah, you can roll a d4 with that natural one.
Yeah.
A saving throw doesn't count as an ability check, right?
No.
Okay. Never mind. 4.
Dear, you are strong. You are mighty like the mountain.
That's why we train, baby.
Kadir, you grab hold of the wood and planks near you as you literally brace for impact.
Dirty 20.
All right. Key, you begin to stick to the planks as you brace. Let's see how everybody else does. Oh, sorry. They have character sheets. I can just do their thing. Thank you, Roll20. Please sponsor us. The good professor with an 8. He's too distracted to follow his own advice. Alistair doesn't get to brace because he is under the influence of his own spell, so he's gonna have a nice little wake-up call. And our brave goblin captain is also going to get a natural 1, even with his bonuses.
Wow.
We are going to take a quick break. But as we do, the ship crashes loudly into the ground with a mighty thump and a fiery explosion. And when we come back, we will see the results of that explosion. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to any landing you walk away from is a good landing. But let's see who actually walks away before we get too excited. Hello, Utahime hearts. We love some Utahime. Okay. Oh, and if your name is Zion and you donated, please let us know in the chat that you donated and you did $5 so you can give inspiration to anybody, including the DM. So let us know who you want to give inspiration to if you did, in fact, donate. We have a couple different donation things going on, but we want to make sure that you didn't get missed with your donation. God, I would say pan the camera up just a little bit because we're gonna need that that top part of the map.
Oh God, we can't see you this time. Darn.
He works in mysterious ways. So if you are Zion in the chat, please let me know. If not, by the start of what we're about to do, I will give that random inspiration to one of the 3 players at random. Or, chat can say who they think we should give it to. But we just want to make sure we're acknowledging and getting your donation correct if, in fact, you donated for this cause versus the other things we've got going on at New Age Geeks. All right. Zion, if you're still there, let us know. If not, we will give that random inspiration to somebody. Okay. When we last left off, you were meeting the ground kind of head on. As you came down, the ship began to tilt and spiral and crash, and all of you were thrown from the ship itself as the fire and explosion began to take the ship whole. Let's go through by the rolls to see what happens. Kadir, you rolled a 24 on your strength save. You are going to take no damage from this crash. You are thrown, and your samurai spirit and skill begin to kick in, and you begin to tumble. It's not a fast crash, but it's like a crashing elevator. It's still enough to jostle and throw you.
Tuck and roll, tuck and roll.
So you do your best roll to get safely out. Mira, unfortunately, a nat 1, even with your bless, is not going to help you a lot. And I am going to roll for the damage that you're going to take from the crash.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take 17 damage from the crash. Similarly, our goblin friend who also got a natural 1, he did not make it. Nobody ever asked his name, so we can't say rest in peace. But he has shuffled off this mortal coil as the explosion took our brave, definitely not a thief, goblin captain from us. Key. You do succeed in your dexterity save. And because you braced, you are also going to take no damage. And I believe Professor Cornelius failed his save. So he is going to take the damage. He's going to take 10. Right. And I believe that is everybody. Did I miss anybody? Oh, yes.
Yeah, the wolf crashed the party.
So we didn't get a dex save from the wolf. Did you want to roll his dex
I did.
save? Oh, you did?
I rolled a dexterity check.
Oh, you did. He got a 9. He is going to take 18 damage, which I
think
believe is
he's
all.
gone.
Yeah. So
I bet.
he's going to hit the ground, and with a sad yelp and a poof, he is gone
What a
as
waste.
the shadow returns to the void. I forgot about the wolf. No saving him. And that's everybody, except there's one other person there in front of you. As you are all beaten. Oh, sorry. One other person needs to take damage, and that's Alistair, who... Okay, a 3. He's not as dead as I thought he would be.
It's because he was relaxed because he was laughing.
Yeah, you know, he was chill. He
Yeah.
let his body go limp via Tasha's hideous laughter. But he is looking rough still, as he takes that damage. As you all look upon the ship that was burning in front of you, you see a humanoid figure begin to walk forward from the flames. Around this humanoid figure is a dark collar, and their head is tilted to the side, and there is an opening gash across as green blood drips down. In front of you, there appears to be a young male presenting person who is in ragged robes and covered in that green wyvern blood, and his eyes are still open but rolled back with that glowing green hue. I will give everybody a chance to kind of identify what this thing is, if you want to. You can roll nature, arcana, or history to get an idea. You also notice... Oh, I'll tell you depending on your roll. So everybody can roll.
Can I roll medicine?
No.
Okay.
Medicine would tell you that it definitely has a messed up neck.
Gotcha.
It's a big pain in the neck, is what you'll identify it as.
Nice. Well played.
Thank you. All right. Kadir, you have no idea. He looks kind of like a pale elf. And his hair is kind of a faded greenish white, but you can't really make out. He looks like an undead elf to you. Similarly, Key, you kind of see the same thing. Mira, this looks like more than an elf to you. You can't say for certain, but it looks very familiar to a creature that your character is very familiar with. But one of the distinct differences that you notice is on its back, there are stubs that are covered in green blood. And they seem to be protruding out of the robes themselves. And they are covered in blood. You don't know for certain what kind of creature it is, but it's not an elf.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not what you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it is familiar. in an eerie way. It grabs its head, tilts, and reconnects the dangling head to the neck. And when it does, the eyes go green, and he lets out a horrific scream. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
Once again, are we still under effects of bless, or has that now worn off?
I will say you are still under the effects of bless. Okay. Just because this is all happening very quickly.
That bumps you up to 15.
Okay.
11?
11 is going to fail.
Ugh.
Actually, I'm going to recant that bless roll because I just remembered I was not in range for bless, so I rolled an 11. I'm going to be fair.
Okay. You are going to fail as well. Alistair is still out of it. He's still unconscious, so it doesn't matter. And I think the wolf... Oh, the wolf is gone. Sorry. Boop. Sorry, puppy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and Mira, you succeed.
Yeah.
So you hear this scream in each of your heads, and you hear a word in a language that none of you recognize except for Mira. And Mira, I am going to send you a private message on what that word is. As he screams this out into... everybody's brain. And as he does, the flesh from his body begins to fall off, and an undead creature begins to take shape and grow, and in front of you there is an undead wyvern.
Oh, great.
Oh, spit.
That was not his final form. And on that, I need everybody to roll initiative.
Oof.
Now, the effects of the scream for Kadir and Key, you are going to take disadvantage when swinging or attacking or doing anything against this creature.
Really quick, I only clicked my icon just so I could roll initiative, and it moved me. So,
that's fine.
No. Oh. He's quick on uptake. Really quick, how do I do that line thing again to measure distance?
Well, it should be the little ruler.
Gotcha. 15.
All right. Oh, wrong order. There we go. Starting us off strong is Dr. Professor Cornelius Finch, followed by Key, the Wyvern, Mira, and then rounding us out again, Kadir. Now, I will tell you that this is now an undead creature, but it is very much the same creature that you fought. The ship is on fire. And unfortunately, Dr. Professor Cornelius was not able to retrieve the Saurian crystal that is now underneath this wyvern, or behind this wyvern and in around fire. So, those are things you need to know from your initial observation of the situation. You've never fought a wyvern before today, and you've certainly never fought an undead wyvern. But each of you have engaged with undead before, so you are familiar with this creature type. So think about that as you make your decisions.
Gotcha.
And Dr. Professor Cornelius is going to immediately see that Mira is injured. And cast Healing Word. All right, so you're going to take 8 plus 6 healing because he cast it at level 3. And you will heal for that amount as he runs to you hastily. And he goes, "Oh dear, you appear to be harmed. Here, just no worries. I'll get you all fixed up." And then when he heals you, it feels like, whoa, like a shot of espresso just hit you. And that is going to be his turn. Key, you are up. Wyvern next. Mira on deck. And Kadir, unfortunately, you had a great landing, but where you are positioned, not so great.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the good doctor for yeah. Yeah. Thanks, guy.
You just have to survive. It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
All right. Quick question. If Key goes into those woods behind them, would that be considered cover?
Which woods?
These woods.
So you would need to go around to get the cover.
Oh, I can't just go inside the woods?
Into the bushes?
Yeah.
I guess these are trees.
Or
Yeah, these are the tops of trees. So you would need to go behind the tree for cover.
I can't just go like here, just so behind it.
You can go in there, but
yeah,
that's the top of a tree, so you're not covered unless something is attacking you from above. You see what I'm saying?
Wouldn't the tree be like this? If this head, the tree.
The center of the tree is here. You could go to this square.
Oh,
and
that's
behind
one
the
big tree.
Yeah, this is one
okay.
big tree with a canopy of branches and leaves.
Okay, I thought that was like a bunch of trees.
Standing under the tree covers you from rain and above attacks.
Got you. Okay, let me measure something real quick. Let's see here. Let's see, range 120 feet. Let's see here. Okay, cool. All right, move action first. I'm gonna have, dang it, have a key. Oh, I have to disengage, huh? Is that the radius?
I think because of the range of its tail, yes, you do have to disengage.
Okay. All right. Well, bonus action first to disengage with cunning action.
Okay.
Cunning thing, whatever. Then I'm gonna take my move action. Dang it. To move behind the tree right here. And then for my main action, I'm going to cast Firebolt.
Okay.
So let's see here. So make a ranged spell attack. Let's see here. That is nope. Where's the sheet? Firebolt. Here we go. Quick roll. There you go. 23 hit.
A 23 does hit.
All right, and it takes 13 fire damage.
Okay.
And I believe I'm under at least half cover, I think, behind the tree, right?
1 second. Roll20 is giving me problems. Kadir, I'm going to push you back just a little bit because we're losing the dragon on the map. There we go. There we go. Couldn't do his damage. He was about to be invincible.
Oh, that's not good for us.
All right. So yeah, he takes the full 13 fire damage for the record.
Cool. And that will be the end of my turn.
All right. It is going to be the wyvern's turn. It is going to first sting its tail.
Is it getting hurt from the fire of the ship or no?
It is not. Not yet, but the fire is growing.
Okay.
Let's see. Wyvern. As it attacks, you notice that it doesn't seem focused in its attack, but it is going to take a sting at poor Alistair.
Ooh.
Who is at 0.
Oh.
All right. If it struck at Alistair, I'm taking a shot with Sentinel. I'm using my reaction to strike at it with Sentinel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Does that only work if you attacked it the turn before?
Nope. When a creature's within 5 feet of me, it makes an attack against a target other than you, and the target does not have Sentinel.
Okay. Go for it.
It's a disadvantage right now, but all right. Which I'm really mad about because I would have been an at 20.
Ah.
But I'll take 21.
But you still hit it,
Yeah.
even at disadvantage.
But so that is 10 damage and
9 fire, so
is that 19?
Still nice. Still nice.
I'll take it. I will take it.
Hey. Yeah, and it notably takes the full amount of the fire damage this time.
Nice.
Mira, anything else? Oh, sorry, the wyvern's turn. I got distracted because Sentinel made you just jump in the line. Rock your body on time. All right, it is going to try to bite Kadir for its second attack because it does get 2 attacks. Does an 18 hit you?
18 does not hit. Thank Jesus. Thank Jesus.
Nice.
Oh, you are so lucky. All right. So it snaps back at you after its slash, missing as you bravely step back, unflinching. Mira, it is now your turn, and then Kadir, you are on deck.
I'm going to turn to it and cast Hunger of Hadar in a way that Kadir is right outside of the 20 feet radius.
Okay. It's certainly big enough for you to do that. Hunger of Hadar. 20-foot radius.
Oh.
Oh God, milky otherworldly tentacles. Yeesh. Yo.
Now, that's the spell description. What does your Hungers of Hadar look like? Because it's not the same.
Mhm.
You get to flavor your magic in my world. So
Yeah.
you don't have to do gross black inky tentacles. How do you describe your Hungers of Hadar?
I see it as like chromatic streaks of like rainbow shimmery chromatic streaks like slashing through.
Perfect. And it's a 20-foot radius. It is cold damage.
Blinding.
No light. Oh, yeah. So magical darkness. Which unfortunately I don't think affects this.
Oh,
But I'll double
can't be
check.
blinded.
It takes 2d6 at the beginning of its turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Must succeed.
At ends its turn. Oh yeah, starts its turn, it gets damage.
And then must succeed a dexterity saving throw or take a 2d6 at the end of its turn too. So it's going to take, at the beginning and end of its turn, it's going to take 2d6.
Yeah. It's also blinded. If
Yes.
that affects it.
If that affects it.
Mm-hmm.
So it is. Let me. Oh, it can be blinded. So it is blinded by the light. So it will take disadvantage. All right. Anything else you want to do? And for those curious, undead and constructs can be blinded unless the creature says specifically that it cannot.
Its tail is long enough to hit me.
Yes.
Okay,
But its other attacks are not.
And its tail would, well, I'll stay where I am, thinking that if I run away, there's still a chance it might whip out at me.
It might.
Yeah. Okay, that's my turn.
You still have your mirror image up, right?
If it's been less than a minute, that's not concentration.
Okay, perfect. I was about to ask, is it concentration?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So that is your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Kadir.
Okay.
Staring down the maw of
All
this zombie wyvern.
So let's bonus action first. We're gonna bonus action second wind. Try to get some health back. So we're not looking very healthy right now. So I'm gonna regain 8 hit points. Brings me to 21. Still have the 5 temporary because
Second wind.
Because I still had the 5 temporary from fighting spirit, but this leaves me I'm still at disadvantage though, right?
You are.
Fuck it, we ball. Strike
That
1.
is persistent.
Yep. I will take another 21. I mean, God, now I'm just sad. So that'll
Disadvantage, but you don't care.
You know what? I'll take 16 points of 10 points of slashing, or no, 6 points of slashing, 10 points of fire, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah. And let's see, I get another attack here. All right, well, that one's not going to hit.
That's a 10.
That would be a 10, yes.
A 10 does not hit.
Yep, all right. So we're sticking with that 16 points of damage from that strike. But I'm still trying to stand my ground here to keep aggro off of everybody else.
Okay.
And that ends my turn.
As your turn ends, I'm sorry, I skipped Dr. Professor Cornelius. As your turn ends, the fire around the engine gets much closer, and it is noticeably beginning to heat up that cylinder where the Saurian crystal is being held. Alistair is knocked out and currently poisoned. Let's see what the good doctor can do to help keep everybody alive. Oh, that's the goblin. He died. R.I.P. His name was Gotti, by the way. Nobody asked, but R.I.P. Gotti.
Rip Gotti.
R.I.P. Gotti in the chat.
Pour one out for Gotti.
Pour one out. All right. The good doctor is going to cast Mass Healing Word. I believe this is up to 6 creatures that he can see. Cast a spell, 4th level or higher. So they get everybody that he can see, which is everybody, is going to heal by 8. So Alistair is not dead. He has now stabilized, which is good because he was about to have to make his death save. And Kadir, you took the healing as well, right? Perfect. All right. On that note, the good doctor notices that it does appear that the crystal is getting heated up. Might I advise that we all head towards that gentleman over there in the cart? And he kind of points in a far-off direction to the south. And for those of you who do notice, which I think the only person who wouldn't look away or would be able to look or not able to look away is Kadir, because I wouldn't look away from a dragon that's right at my face. Or sorry, wyvern. Important difference. Mira, you notice that there is a cart with a hooded figure who is motioning for you to come to the cart and kind of jumping up and down. And in this motioning, you realize that it's Larry. You can't hear it, but he is yelling loudly and going like this, kind of in a panic. Key, you notice this as well. Alistair, looking up, looking down from the ground, kind of notices that there's something there. But he is, not having the best day. This rescue didn't go as planned for him. And that's going to be the professor's turn. Key, you are up with the wyvern on deck, Mira, and then Kadir.
All right, quick question. Since Key is hiding behind a tree and the wyvern is concentrating on Kadir, would I have a sneak attack advantage on this?
You are not hidden unless you hide. You get coverage if it tries to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it still knows you're there.
Okay.
It's blind. But...
All right.
Oh, wait.
Hmm?
It is blind. So yeah, actually, because of Mira's Hungers of Hadar, you do get advantage.
Hooray! Synergy.
Nice.
All right. Well, he is going to steady aim and fire off a bolt from their
Fire away.
yeah, crossbow, improved crossbow. Let's see here. Where is that? $20.
I think you know that a 20 hits.
All right, so that's a 14 damage.
14. All right.
And let's see here.
He is looking rough, even for a zombie wyvern.
All right, and let's see here. I believe that's all I can do right now.
Okay. You
I can't move because I use steady aim.
got it. All right. It is the wyvern's turn. He is going to do a combo attack on our good friend Kadir. Gonna hit that man with a 2-piece and a biscuit, with a bite, and then a claw.
Disadvantage, right?
At disadvantage. Good save.
Thank you,
Good.
because holy shit.
Good.
Woo!
Good save.
Yeah,
You just-
because 11
20
and 18 don't hit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, good call.
So from this blinding rainbow mass, you see these claws and teeth come at you, Kadir, but they just short as you feel the wind of them, and you can smell the breath of the teeth as they close.
I'm sure if I had hair, my hair would have been singed by the bite.
Your beard hair is on end. That's unfortunately its whole turn. So Mira.
Oh, and it got
sorry. You're right,
hurt,
Mira.
yeah.
So roll me 2d6 for the total amount of damage, because it started and ended its turn in your Hadar.
And it needs to do a dexterity saving throw for the second 2d6.
Okay, I'm gonna give it disadvantage on this.
That's the first bit of damage.
Oh yeah, it's got an 11 with its dex save.
Yeah.
So 9 damage.
The first bit of damage was 9, and then the second bit of damage was 6.
Mira, what does it look like when you once again kill the wyvern for the second time tonight?
With this, it's almost as if the hole is closing in on itself, sucking out, like, I don't know, collapsing in on itself.
So those rainbow cuts and lines that come out of the ground for your Hadar circle around and like a supernova just cut into this creature, and it is shredded. And as it begins to shred and disappear in that light and aura, you see it return to its original form. And then nothing is left but the collar as it falls into the fire. But you notice as it begins to die, it kind of looks relieved, or he does. You see its face again as it disappears, and you see relief wash over it. And as that relief hits, I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw.
Jeez.
Wow. If this were if this were the craps table, it'd be great.
Oh my goodness.
Yikes. Narrative.
As the collar hits the ground and his body completely disappears, there is a jolt of green lightning that comes from the ground to the air. It is a bright, distinct green. And I don't believe you've seen anything like this before. But Mira, it is familiar to you when it happens. But it is still scary. Each of you are suddenly overcome with fear. And as a reaction, you need to move away from the direction that the lightning was in, which is the spot that the wyvern was in. You have to run because of whatever it was an overwhelming presence that caused fear. It is instinctual fear that you have. It's the same kind of fear when you as a normal person look and see a mountain lion.
Are we still
That
in
is
combat?
something that will kill you.
Are we still in combat?
You are no longer in combat.
All right, so I'm guessing we're dashing, so that's 60 feet, I guess. So
Yep.
yeah, I'll go over there.
All right, so each of you in turn begin to run towards the cart. As you get a distance away from the cart, and I'm going to move cameraman Joe down. Oh, I think he moved himself too. You hear a loud explosion, and you feel the air from that explosion push you back as you're running. All of you hurriedly jump into the cart where Larry is waiting for you.
Get into the chopper! The chopper!
So, one by one, each of you get into the cart, and Larry's just like, "Oh my God, guys, I thought you were dead. Holy crap. What was that? Why was there an explosion? Holy crap, we got to get out of here. Just get into the car. Get into the car. Get into the car right now." And he looks very worried, very panicked, and he is cloaked still. So for this last part, we're kind of going to go through a little bit of exposition as we go through what happens next. Each of you get under the cart. You realize that you're actually only a little ways from Glass Aegean. You were almost there. The ship has crashed not far outside of the city, and Larry has acquired a cart and come to get you. As you are going back, the whole time, Larry is just talking to himself, very freaked out, very panicked. And you all notice that he keeps pulling his hood kind of over his face as it gets jostled from the ride and the wind. But he is very hurriedly getting you guys back and heading in the direction of the guild. Even as you reach the city, he sort of pulls his head down. All of you at this moment realize that you have never, ever seen Larry outside of his office. Not even on the grounds of the Adventurers Academy, not even walking in the hallways. He has always been in his office. And he looks distinctly, even if you're distracted or even if you are not that observant, you can notice that there is a distinct, he is very afraid and uncomfortable as you guys go. And even trying to talk to him doesn't seem to quite go through to him, as he is just in full panic mode. You go through the city very quickly. And the guards seem to sort of make way as you head straight towards the Adventurers Guild. You arrive at the Adventurers Guild, but as you do, you notice that behind you there are horses in pursuit. There are men in black and purple armor following you through the city. As you hurriedly rush to that line, that safe line of the Adventurers Guild land. Quickly, you approach, ready for combat, ready for whatever, as you go through the gates. And as you go through the gates, the cart sort of comes to a stop as there is a large group of adventurers, including Granny Gray standing in front of you, and including Axel from the bar. Everyone who is normally at the bar or in the school is on the ground standing at that gate as you all arrive. And you go through in the, I don't want to say drift because drift is the wrong word with horses and carts, but the cart does suddenly come to a stop and slide a little bit, as the panic and relief as each of you crosses that line. In that moment, I need everybody to make a perception check. I am going to pull the players back to the main map so we can go through this. A little bit of theater of mind because I didn't build a map for this. I built a lot of maps today. I didn't have time for another one. All right. Kadir, with your perception, you notice that the formation that they are in is they are ready to form a line around the cart. And the guards and the knights coming behind you don't seem to be slowing down as they approach the gate line. And I say gate line, but it's really an arch. There is no physical gate blocking this off. Mira, you seem to be very focused on Larry. And you don't really notice kind of what's happening around you. You just notice that you've a man that you've kind of had back and forth with an issue with. You've never seen him like this, as sweat is dripping from his face like he was running with the horses that whole time. And he breathes heavily. Key, you notice that the guards, as they approach that line, none of them quite cross it, but they begin to make a formation around it. The guards at the top of the arches prepare their bows, but they don't aim. You see them ready, but don't aim. And a line begins to form around your group of adventurers that you have seen at school and you have seen in the bar, including Axel, who stands in front of everything. And as Axel, who is the most familiar face out of them, begins to step forward, you see him grow in size. This large minotaur, who has been your bartender and the man who gives you mint every time you teleport, begins to grow in size as he begins to enrage. He had mentioned being an adventurer before. At this moment, you realize that he was in fact a barbarian. And he does not have a weapon. He just has these very large hands. As his shirt begins to tear as his size grows with him. Luckily, he had already ripped the sleeves off. And standing in front of that line of adventurers that stands between you and the Royal Guard is Granny Gray.
He is going to see what's all this going on. It's like really quickly. Oh, Granny Gray, we fought an undead. Wait, what's going on?
There seems to be a bit of silence as one of the guards, or one of the knights, steps down from his horse and with a group of knights behind him begins to walk forward. Kadir, you recognize this man. This is Knight Captain Shaw. He is one of the head knights of the Royal Army. He is in charge of very specific tasks, which are tracking down slaves and tracking down halflings and putting them to the sword. So he is one of the most feared men in all of Kaiser, and he begins to walk to that line. And as he walks, that line is more than just a line in the ground where the cement stops and the path to the Adventurer Guild begins. It feels like a real line, and he stops without crossing right to the edge. And up to the line stands Granny Gray. And he speaks. Old woman, we won't cause any trouble for you and yours. Just give us the old gnome. And he points knowingly at Cornelius. At this moment, Granny Gray, her hunched back begins to straighten, and you see her grip that pickaxe that she used as a cane, now gripping it like a full-on weapon as she begins to straighten out her back. And she goes, "Oh, dearie, it does seem to me that they are on adventurer property, which means, unfortunately, can I do that? I would love to help you, but I'm just a sweet old lady, and unfortunately, I can't bend the rules for you, Knight Captain Shaw." And as she says that, you see every adventurer begin to tense their bodies, hand on their sword. Next to her is a gentleman in robes that you've never seen before, who has appears to have one eye of a different color, brownish checkered hair, and you see the arcane energy around him begin to fill, and you feel the whole air go dry. It's that feeling before lightning strikes, as there is suddenly no moisture in the air when he does this. Would you guys like to do or say anything in this moment? I will start with Kadir, and then I will go to Mira, and then Key.
Kadir's gonna get up. Are we all out of the cart at this point, or?
Yeah, I would assume you have stepped out so that you can fully engage with the situation.
Do I know Shaw by name? Or do I just know him by reputation?
You know him by reputation and by visage.
All right.
You've never personally interacted with him because you have been very lucky. Other people from your past and history have not been lucky in his regard.
So the entire time, the only thing I'm going to do is step right in front of Cornelius. My eyes are deadlocked on Shaw, but I'm stepping right in front of Cornelius as if, by posture saying, you're going to go through me, if not just everybody else. And I'm literally just going to spit blood on the ground because I've taken a lot of damage.
You have.
And then literally just stare Shaw down. He's not getting, he's going to have to go through my dead body to get to Cornelius.
Mira.
And what was Shaw doing?
He is standing there with his men at the ready. He has not drawn a weapon, but his toe is right on that line. He could sneeze and cross it. That's how close he is. And he is staring down Granny Gray. Now,
Mm.
it seems like there is a standoff as both sides are preventing anything from happening.
Yeah.
So I will let you consider that with any action you might be considering.
I'm gonna step forward and ask if there's any trouble and cast Charm in person on him.
Okay. $30 feet. Let's see, charming. I'm gonna double check this. But Mira, I think I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh. Haven't been doing good at those.
It has not been the night for them.
Nope.
Not a wisdom.
Where is Captain Shaw? There you are, you menace to society. So you need to beat a 13.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh, good job. You go to charm him, and you instantly feel a similar mental backlash
Hmm.
that you have felt before. And you feel not only is he immune to being charmed, but he tried to do something back to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and since it didn't succeed, I'm not going to go over what that is.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel that, and you feel for just a brief second, he takes his eyes off of Granny Gray, and his eyes are on you.
Huh.
But you realized in that moment, he can't be charmed because he is already under something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that you learn. The other thing is in that second that he looked away from Granny Gray, she put the pickaxe to the line, but not to him, but to that line. It is similarly as his toe is right at that line, that axe is perfectly on it as she points at him with it because he took his eyes off for just a second. Key.
All right. Well, he is going to actually move right next to Kadir, take a kind of a knee. It's kind of their friends would recognize this as Key's usual steady aim pose, but they haven't raised the crossbow. It's still pointed down, but at any moment it could just point straight back up.
You're
And it's
readying
like,
an action.
yeah, basically, if Shaw makes an aggressive stance, movement towards Granny, Key will shoot and he just goes, move away from Granny.
So Shaw looks around at the situation. You can't see his face beneath the helmet, but you can see the eyes that glow move beneath it. You feel the grin on his face as he looks. And he goes, "Today is not the day, but there will be consequences for this." And he turns, and all of his knights at the same time turn and they begin to leave, heading down the path. Everyone stands their ground as rain begins to pour. Nobody moves. They watch until the last knight is out of sight. At that moment, everybody relaxes. Axel returns to his size. The rain begins to fill the air once again with moisture as it begins to sprinkle down. And everybody begins to head inside or back to their places. Larry alone sits on the cart, still kind of rubbing his hands shakily, as he doesn't seem to be able to move from that position. Everyone else returns and moves to their position, and some time passes, maybe about 15, 20 minutes, and everybody disperses. The guards go back to a relaxed state. The only person who doesn't seem to move is Larry. Alistair goes into the school to get checked out for his obviously bad wyvern poisoning that he had to deal with. Cornelius is taken in by Granny Gray, and the unknown gentleman with the arcane abilities. A wizard is a good word for him for now. And they take Cornelius and escort him inside. The rest of you are standing there at the cart with Larry.
You said that Larry looks uneasy or nervous or something?
Yes, he looks almost like frozen, kind of in place, but he's not talking to himself anymore. He's not breathing as heavily. He's just kind of sitting there, and you can see him like rub at his knuckles and his hands.
Larry, maybe you should go back to your office. You know, that might be a good idea.
Does anybody else want to say anything?
How in trouble are we?
Kadir, do you want to say anything?
Hey, I don't know if this is going to mean much, but thanks for getting us out of that.
And when he hears thanks, you see this moment of like him kind of like look up, and you see that he was actually crying. He had begun to cry. And he looks up and he wipes his face, and as he does, the hood kind of falls down, and he's just like, I just worried that something had happened to you. I saw the ship go down, so I panicked. I didn't know what to do. And, I'm just really, really glad you're all okay. And he goes to like motion to like needing help to get down from the cart, because he is still a gnome, and he kind of hastily acquired this cart, but he does kind of hold out a hand to get helped down.
I'm going to help him down.
I need everybody to make a dexterity save.
Ooh.
Oh, jeez.
Oof.
Finally.
What is it with being hard fours or hard eights all day? 4 and 4.
Kadir, as you reach for his hand, you feel the fingers of his hand touch the fingers of yours, and as soon as that happens, you see it and you hear it go past your head as a crossbolt strikes right into Larry's chest. in that moment, you can't look away from Larry as he begins to fall. In that moment, you can't look away at Larry as he begins to fall from the cart to the ground. But with your dexterity, you do reach out to grab him if you want.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Larry!
So you reach out to grab him. In that moment, Mira, your dexterity was high enough that you're able to see where it hit, turn, and see where it came from. I need you to make, and I'm sorry for doing this, I need you to make a perception check, and I will give you advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Glad I gave you advantage.
Yeah.
You don't recognize the figure that shot the crossbolt, but you do see the back of their cloak as they disappear into an alley. And because of the combination of your perception and your high dexterity, you do notice there is one weird, unique thing about this person. They have a metal gauntlet on their hand, and you see the backside of it as they run away, and there appears to be a blade attached to the bottom here. And you have only ever seen one of those once in your adventure. But it's not quick enough to see the face of the person or confirm who shot the crossbolt. And as they go down the alley, that is a dead end, they're gone before the guards can even move in that direction. And you hear a familiar noise after they have disappeared. I'm gonna say that he mostly catches Larry as only his feet make a thumping noise as he hits the ground, and Larry has been shot and is bleeding out by a crossbolt that is clearly coated in poison. And that is where we're going to end.
Somebody's about to get fucked up. Somebody's about to get fucked up. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Someone's, yeah.
I think the next episode we're going to start with an episode of House MD.
So, thank you everybody for watching tonight. Thank you guys for being here. I hope we had fun. We are, again, ramping up the story a little bit. We will find out what happens to Larry kind of going forward in the next 2 weeks, and kind of recourse of this entire situation within the next 2 weeks.
I don't know what else to say at this point. Like,
yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Mizoon. Thank you, Nova. I'm sorry to end it on such an intense cliffhanger, especially for those who have grown to be fans of Larry. But the I'll give you those details as we go, Jem. But yeah, on that note, congratulations for, killing a wyvern twice. Good job. You guys, I expected that second fight to be a run away from fight, but you guys were like, nope, stay dead.
Look, we have Wyvern Killer Mira here. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah, Mira twice tonight. Twice tonight you have just demolished this wyvern. You are the wyvern slayer. So congratulations.
Anger the sorcerer.
No, never. Yeah. So good job, everybody, tonight. This was a story that I had been planning for a while, so I'm glad we're getting right there into the meat of it. And I hope you guys are enjoying it too. On that note, on happy notes, we're gonna go around and tell everybody where they could follow you. I would like to remind everybody to stick around because we are going to raid somebody. And I also want to remind you that we do have upcoming shows. Next Monday, I believe, is Jem's show, so I'll let her tell you about that. And then we have Queer and Present Danger as well. And also, for my players, because you slayed the wyvern twice, you can each level up before our next session.
Oh.
Yeah, I know it's quick from the last one, but I didn't expect you to actually kill this thing, and I believe that deserves a reward.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so let's go around the table, starting with Michael Powell, and then we'll go to Jem, and then end it with Kadir or Andrew.
All right. Well, as always, I am Michael Powell, aka Mr. Kapow. That's MrKapao. And you can find me all over the internet on my social medias, which is also usually at Mr. Kapow. Also my YouTube channel, Fantastic Tales of Adventure. And let's see here, upcoming stuff that I have going on April 19th to the 21st. I will be hosting the Toyzilla Price Check Challenge at the Anime Nation Fest at the LA Convention Center. It's a tattoo show with anime stuff. So if you like either, check it out.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was planning on going that because I have an anime tattoo.
Yeah.
I like anime and tattoos. I'm super
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Also, my upcoming schedule is every other Tuesdays. I'm here on New Age Geeks for SpellShots at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every Thursdays, I'm on Toyzilla Live at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then every other Friday, I'm part of Avatar Legends actual play at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Johananon channel. So, yeah, hope to see you there.
Sweet. That's what my tattoo is. It's Avatar. Jem, where can people find you and tell us about your upcoming show?
Sure. So you can find me everywhere on the internet as Jamboree, other than Instagram. I'm Jimaginative. Or you can find me Monday nights. I'm streaming every Monday night on this channel, whether or not I'm playing Whisper, the chaotic elf druid who's going through some stuff right now in Forging Fates. Or next week, I have my show, Goodberry Cafe, where I invite some guests to join me and we play an indie TTRPG together. We just are in the process of confirming next week's cast. So stay tuned to our social media for the cast announcement and what game we're going to be playing because it'll be announced before next Monday. We'll play next Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and wherever you fit in there. And then the next place you can see me is I'll be working for Empires at Anime Vegas. If anyone's going to Anime Vegas, I will be there. Come check out For Empires. It's a little in-convention LARP thing.
Nice. I went to Anime Vegas last year. I will not be attending this year, but now I wish I was.
Yeah.
You and I in Vegas sounds dangerous. Especially since I know the rest of the people going. Andrew, where can people find you? What do you got going on?
What's up, everyone? You can find me on Instagram and X at Andrew J. Alandy. That's Andrew, the letter J, then my last name, Alandy. Again, Instagram and X. Mondays, usually at 6 p.m. Pacific time, you can find me on the Modifius channel playing Rob, the Generation 3 synth as part of the Fallout Winter of Adam campaign that's been ongoing. Especially with all the Fallout news that's coming up with the show and the TTR, the game, it's a lot of crazy stuff. Beyond that, some Street Fighter stuff coming up. I'm one of the voices of the Jazzy Circuit, so in June, hopefully I'll be, if I'm not competing in top 16, I'll probably be doing live commentary for the finals there. So, but other than that, just would love to hear from y'all. So follows are great, and let's keep having more fun. Let's keep doing some more positive stuff out there, peeps.
Cool. And I have been your DM and host, JeromyTV. It's JeRomy TV everywhere on the internet. Upcoming, I am not doing Anime Vegas, but I am doing Anime Riverside. I may be making a short appearance at WonderCon, and then I'm just in full prep for San Diego Comic-Con. And I do my own streaming on my channel. I will drop an emote in the chat if you want to follow my stream where I'm playing right now. I'm doing kind of ranked Tekken and Helldivers because hell yeah, democracy, forced democracy. Big fan of that. Those are the games I'm playing right now, and I might be doing some Pokemon stuff as well soon. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And thank you for being a part of this. We'll be back here in 2 weeks. And stick around for the raid. We are going to raid Dorktales because I like their name and it reminds me of DuckTales. But they are also playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh.
So let them know we sent you.
Bye.